Ladies and gentlemen, William Barr might not attend, or he's refusing to attend, I should say. He will not attend. He absolutely, positively will not attend testimony on the Mueller report if Democrats in Congress continue to demand absurd requests. Nadler is also recommending a closed-door session for the committee to discuss the report's redacted sessions and a 30-minute questioning for each party involving each party's committee councils. Committee councils are not elected representatives. William Barr has the only requirement William Barr has is to speak to Congress. That's it. To speak to, and it's not even really a requirement. Is it a requirement? I'm not certain if it's a requirement. He's already produced the Mueller report. He's already explained there was no collusion and no obstruction. The Democratic Party can't stand that conclusion. That actually is a conclusion, not an assessment. The DHS and ODNI reports are pure assessments. Those are the two intelligence reports that precede the Mueller probe, where the Mueller team of individuals, attorneys, simply regurgitated everything we already knew from the high confidence assessments in the intel reports that James Clapper produced. I explain in my latest Federalist article exactly why James Clapper knew there was no evidence of Trump-Russia collusion, but he still investigated. That leads directly to the charges they'll eventually face. Comey, Strzok, McCabe, and others. If you conspire to defraud the United States government by utilizing agencies and departments against political opponents, which is exactly what they did, that's the U.S. Code, the 371. I explained that in the Federalist article prior to the latest one. That's below in the pinned comment. But House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler proposed one round of 5-minute questioning for each council member, including an additional round of 30-minute questioning for each party, involving each party committee councils. So, Nadler is also recommending a closed-door session. They already know why. They already know why there are certain portions that Congress, of the report that Congress can't see. This is grand jury testimony. It's information on citizens who weren't charged. And nobody of the 30-plus people were charged under the collusion statute, or the statute they try to utilize against Trump, the one I just mentioned, that will eventually be utilized against them. They're the ones who fabricated everything. They're the ones who started and fabricated a myth. And then they didn't get what they wanted. They did not get what they wanted. They're upset they didn't get what they wanted, and they will just continue to promote this irrational, nonsensical, absurd theory. Somebody within the Trump administration or Trump himself colluded with Russia to interfere in the election. And the nonsense that Russia interfered in the election at all it makes no sense. Not one person altered their vote because of a Facebook ad. Not one individual. Not one person. There's not one person on the planet that altered their vote because of a Facebook ad. That didn't happen. It simply didn't happen. That simply did not happen. And so William Barr now is being forced to either talk to a committee council. I'm not sure how to read that. Let's see. Are they referring to attorneys for the Democratic Party? Or Barr and congressional Democrats have long been sparring over the report's public release, with the latter pushing for the full unredacted version. They know very well they can't do that. House Judiciary Chairman Nadler proposed one round of 5-minute questioning for each council member, including an additional round of 30-minute questioning for each party, involving each party's committee councils. Nadler is also recommending a closed-door session. Okay. The Attorney General agreed to appear before Congress, Kerry. Therefore, members of Congress should be the ones doing the questioning. So, members of Congress are the ones who should be doing the questioning. So, is that alluding to, when they say counsel, are they alluding to attorneys, Democratic Party attorneys? I'm not 100% certain, but therefore, members of Congress should be the ones doing the questioning. He remains happy to engage with members of their questions regarding the Mueller report. However, now it tells the witness is not going to tell the committee how to conduct its hearing, period. Well, then you're not going to speak with William Barr. Then what are you going to do then? What are you going to do then? You're going to go to the Supreme Court? What are you going to do? He's not, if he doesn't want to show up, what can you do? What can you do? You're going to impeach him? You're going to issue a subpoena and he's going to be like, nah. Who do you think enforces those things? The Justice Department. He'll be like, nah, no thank you. Thank you for asking, but no thank you. While uncommon, it's not unprecedented to allow committee counsels to question witnesses, which could result in questions missed in an earlier round, seen as the Democrats rejected Barr's proposal to review a less redacted report. But the refusal to attend the hearing would worsen his already contentious relationship with Democrats who feel that Barr is spinning the report in Trump's favor. So, who cares? Barr said he didn't find evidence to bring a conspiracy charge against President Trump. Of course not. He also said Mueller did not conclude Trump committed a crime. Of course not, including obstruction of justice. And then he did not fully exonerate the president either. Mueller's viewpoint of whether Trump is exonerated is irrelevant. You don't have to exonerate someone if you've spent 2 years trying to prove he committed a crime and then you just can't prove it. You just have to admit that you've lost. Take the L. Take the loss and go. Just take the loss and go. What they don't understand is that they keep on doubling down on the same things. Nadler wants to allow committee counsel. So, why should William Barr allow this when he's already stated there's no obstruction? It's like these petulant. Nadler wants to allow committee counsels to ask questions. This is similar to what Senate panel did. Let's see. This is a Splinter article. Splinter's an interesting publication. This is similar to what the Senate panel did during questioning of Christine Blasey Ford during Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court hearing. Although Republicans argue that it is less common for committees to have counsel question a sitting cabinet member. So, let's see. So maybe it's not legal counsel. Maybe it's just, this is similar to what the Senate panel did during the questioning of Christine Blasey Ford. Oh, okay. No. But there was an attorney there from Arizona. So I don't know exactly. So I think they're talking about an attorney. I mentioned that in my last segment. I think that's what they're referring to. Committee counsel to ask questions is similar to what, although Republicans argue it's less common for committees to have counsel question a sitting cabinet member. Why would you have the Democratic Party's attorneys? So I think they're referring to Democratic Party's attorneys. Why would you have them question William Barr? First of all, Barr would school them, in addition to the politicians on the Democratic side. Well, why would you have that? However, according to CNN, the Justice Department told Nadler's office that Barr would refuse to allow committee counsel to question him, and he doesn't want to go into closed-door session to discuss the redacted sections of the report. What's there to discuss? They already know why certain things are withheld from Congress, number one. Number two, he's not going to be questioned by any attorneys or legal counsel. Number three, there's no need to go into a closed-door session because there's no evidence of any crime committed. Otherwise, Adam Schiff would have publicized it 2 years ago. James Clapper already stated to Chuck Todd there is no evidence. In 2007, no evidence exists. Nothing exists. So they've pushed a failed narrative, an absolutely positively failed narrative. Then they've pushed this failed narrative for 2+ years. They've pushed a failed narrative for 2 years with a Clinton-purchased dossier and a Democratic Party outsourced CrowdStrike assessment. They have no clue how many which Facebook ads influenced any number of voters. They have no clue of anything. They have no clue of anything. They're going into 2020. They have zero chance of defeating Trump with either Biden or Bernie, who his only chance was in 2016 when I was stating that he could win. Thank God Trump won. He's a very good president on many levels. The beginning of peace between North and South Korea, prison reform legislation, over half a million manufacturing jobs, reviving the steel industry, a record low Black and Latino unemployment. The rebuttal as well, it was trending downwards under President Obama. Yeah, it reached a high. It reached record highs under President Obama, not seen since the Reagan administration. And it was still at record highs like around 2012, if you look at the chart. The recession ended in 2009. So, this is an example of why William Barr is not to be messed with. You have a guy who's not going to take it any longer. He's not going to, he's just simply not going to mess around. He's not going to play around. He's not going to become a Sessions. He's not going to acquiesce. He doesn't care. There are hit pieces written on him all the time now. There are almost as many negative articles. There's almost as much negative press coverage on William Barr as there is President Trump. Did you ever wonder why nobody really disparaged Jeff Sessions in the media? Because that was the media's little pet. They loved Sessions because he just recused himself from humanity, locked himself in a closet, and said, "If you need me, I'll be here. Just in this closet. Don't open up." Meanwhile, everyone is going after, every single person now is going after William Barr. And he's not going to speak to committee counsel, attorneys for the Democratic Party. And I believe that the reference was to Kavanaugh. There was a female attorney from Arizona. But it's hilarious. Why would counsel, Democratic Judiciary Committee, why would William Barr agree to that? That makes no sense at all. That makes absolutely no sense at all. Why on earth would, under the Democratic plan, committee counsel be able to fill in the gaps or dig deeper into areas of Barr's testimony? In other words, lawmakers might not be able to ask all the questions they have or have enough time to hold Barr accountable over his answers. And a cleanup session by party council would solve for that. Okay, so it is attorneys. They are talking about attorneys. Okay, I can't. It's like so absurd. It's so absurd. I couldn't believe that they were actually talking about that. Why would he? Why on earth? Why on earth would he agree to this? And he has no reason. And there's no reason to speak to Democratic Party attorneys. There's no reason at all. There's no reason at all. Why would you, if you were the Attorney General, why would you acquiesce to such nonsense? Why would you allow Democrats in the House to make these demands of you? It just makes no sense. They're not going to get a different answer. So the final point is this. The notion that he's hiding something, they think that like he's hiding something, like he's just, he's hiding something, and they need their legal counsel to ask him questions and fill in the gaps. Like, you had 2 years to provide evidence that Trump worked with Putin. You didn't provide the evidence. The evidence that you did provide is linked to Clinton fundraising. So you have failed for 2 years. And then after you failed and you set up and framed Trump, you now want to go out and say that he obstructed your unlawful investigation because Comey said something and Michael Cohen said something and Don McCann said something, but Trump didn't do anything to obstruct anyone. That team was rabid. It's just maniacal quest of Democratic loyalists to go after Trump. It's unbelievable. We are on our way to 150,000 subs, and it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Hit subscribe right now. This is unbelievable. We're over 140,000. We're on our way to 150,000. This is going to be an amazing year and a half, culminating with a Trump victory. Clinton is eventually going to run. Trump's going to win. And I said she would lose in 2015. She lost. I'm telling you, she's going to run again, and she's going to lose again. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. If you want to support my voice, my Patreon link is below in the pinned comment. Your support is greatly, greatly appreciated. It allows me to be an independent voice, and it's just important for independent journalists like myself. So thank you so very much for your support. I will be doing live streams today, so look out for those and check the channel often because sometimes the notifications have been okay. They could be better, but sometimes people don't get the notifications. Hit subscribe. Tell your friends about H.A. Goodman on YouTube. And also, if you want to check out my new AR, it's HA2A. That's my firearms channel. Check that out. Thank you.